this is Jen from Newton's Nook Designs, and today I'm going to talk to you about our tree line stencil. This is our tree line stencil, and on this stencil you have 3 rows of tree parts that can be combined to make trees in different ways. So on the bottom you have the tree trunks, on the top you have the tree tops, and they're solid, and then in the middle you have leaves and dots that can be added to make leaves to the treetops. And this stencil has etching on it so you can see where to line up once you've done one row and move the stencil. So let me show you how that works. First, you want to protect your surface if you're going to be stenciling with ink. So I'm going to throw down a craft mat here. And then I have a piece of Bristol that's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is like your perfect card front size. And I'm just going to tape that to my nonstick surface. And then decide where you want your trees to be. You can put them, if you want to put them on the top or the bottom of your card, depends on what you're going to do with this scene. In this case, I think I'm going to put them here. And it doesn't really matter what order you ink these up in. However, I've found that if you're going to use distress ink, because it's a little bit slow to dry, it's better to do the lighter color first, because if you do the darker color first and then the lighter color over it, it might smear a little. Alright, so here I'm going to do the treetops. And because I didn't go all the way to the top of my card, I'm going to put a little piece of just copy paper there to protect so I don't accidentally get ink on the top of my card. Oh, tape that on there. All right. So I'm going to use mowed lawn to ink the tops of my trees in green. Now you could do them in different colors if you wanted. I'm just going to make them all green for this sample. And this is great for making scenes. You can create a scene of a park or a scene of a road or a scene of spring or summer, or you could use the trees just on their own to create a fun card. And I have some examples of how I've used it, and I'll show you those at the end of this video. Okay, so now I've got my, I guess I could add a little bit more to that one. Now I've got my trees green, and I'm going to go ahead and put the trunks on next. So it's probably a little hard for you to see in the video, but I am using this etching to line up where to put the stencil next. And again, now because this bottom part is bare, I'm going to use that copy paper again just to mask that off, because the first time I used this, I didn't do that and I accidentally got ink where I didn't want it on my card. Okay, so then I'm going to use brush corduroy ink to ink up the bottom of the trunks. You could use a darker brown if you want a little more contrast. But I think this is going to work nicely. Now you could also add embossing paste, texture paste, glitter paste, foil, flock. I mean, there's so many things you could do to make these trees unique. So that's what it looks like with those two. Now you could just leave it like this and just use those 2 layers, or you can add that middle layer where the details are. So again, I'm using the etching to line up where the stencil should go. And then I will re-adhere that to my mat. And then I'm going to use Rustic Wilderness ink here to ink up the leaf areas. Now these are kind of a fun modern looking leaf tree. Some of them have circles instead of leaves, but I think it's just a fun look for trees. Simple and creative. Now again, you wouldn't have to do these all the same color. If you wanted to be creative, you could use different colors of ink on the trees. Okay, but you can see how easy that was to line up and get 3-color pattern of trees. This would make a great, you could add a hill here or a road, add some cars to it. There's so many things you could do with this. Let me show you a few more examples. So here's an example of it inked with sort of an ombre, 2 colors of ink in the solid tops and then a little bit darker tree trunk. So that was one thing you could do. Here is them with just the patterns, and I left the solid layer off this time. So that's kind of a fun effect too. And then I did 2 colors of ink and did every other one. So a darker green and a lighter green. So that's a fun way you could do it. This one is similar to what we just did. It uses all 3 rows with a dark brown, and this one I used a lighter green than we used today. So that is another way you could use it. This one I used a metallic texture paste on the 3rd layer of the leaves. So that gives you a really fun effect. And I did want to show you that this works great for fall too. So in this case, I just used fall colors on the trees. And then I did this one with 3 different colors on the tree details, leaf details with the trunks. So there's so many fun things you could do with this stencil. I will show you a couple of cards I created as well. So here's a card where I did it vertically instead of horizontally. And I did all of them with the solids in the trunks. And then I only did a selective few with that 3rd detail layer. So that creates just a kind of fun and unique pattern. And then I used the Thank You for Being So Amazing from our Best Mom oval stamp set and the oval frames die to put the sentiment in the center. So that is a fun, quick and simple thank you card. Now if you want to get a little more complicated, here is one I created and I made it into trees on a road. And in this case, again, I used a metallic texture paste on the leaves. And then I used our land borders die set to create a grass row. And I created 2 rows of grass and then added some gray in the middle to make a road. And then I put the characters from our cycling set in the center. And that one says riding by to say hello. So this one's really cute. We've got a puppy and a kitty on a bicycle riding by. And this one is similar to that one. I used foil this time on those leaves. So you can see how fun that looks in the sparkle. And then I added the happy birthday coming out in a banner. And the kitty is in the basket this time because it comes with different things you can put in the basket. And this is our Cycling Friends stamp. And then there's the balloons that you can also add in. So the stamp set has all kinds of fun accessories you can mix and match together. And I thought it looks really good with that tree line in the background. So there are some ways you can use the tree stencil. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Make sure you head over to our shop to see these products. And I'd love to see what you create. Make sure you share with us on Facebook or Instagram. Use hashtag Newton's Nook. And Thank you for watching today.